riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. Here's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick an album or a song, listen to it for an entire week straight, and then come right back here and tell you, the listeners, if we hate it, and if so, why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Tora Bora, my Bora Bora, Timothy Richardson. Bora, how you doing?
I am concerned.
Oh, what's got you so concerned?
Well, Garrett, you remember when you were a kid and you got those temporary tattoos? They came off after a week, and I don't know, I guess quality of temporary tattoos must be going up in this this year of our Lord 2024, because these are rock solid.
Yeah, they haven't smudged a bit.
Yeah.
Happy to see it.
Why?
Well, first of all, I'm happy because I paid a great deal of money for those real tattoos.
Oh my god! You'll be paying more for the removal, you son of a bitch.
Worth it.
Oh,
I've heard it's quite painful.
I'm going to make you listen to the 27-song version of this album.
That might break me. Anyway, let's not spoil anything. Tim, what album have we been listening to for an entire week straight?
Well, Garrett, we have been keeping it spooky this week with Post Malone's 2024 country album, F-1 Trillion, released August 16th, 2024. And again, to be clear, we listened to the extremely long 18-track version, not the extremely even longer F-1 Trillion Long Bed Extended version, which clocks in at 27 songs and just shy of 88 minutes, and that is abusive.
That's lunacy.
Yeah.
It almost has to be a practical joke. Has anybody confirmed those songs exist?
I mean, they do.
Gross. All right, well, after an entire week with 18 tracks of Post Malone's debut country effort, Tim, I am really curious. Do you hate this album?
Garrett, before I answer that question, your phrasing of debut country album worries me a great deal. Because this... he shouldn't do another one of these. Garrett,
I was going to say he found his lane.
Maybe. I don't hate this yet, but I am so close, Garrett. This thing sucks. The only reason I'm reserving my hatred for it is because I think it's slightly better than his raps, or at least it's slightly better than Psycho. I did not listen to any additional raps. I think I'm gonna get there. I think I'm almost there. Maybe. Probably. Yes. What about you, Garrett? Do you hate this?
But I'm pretty sure you just already got there. No, I don't. And I think it is, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I don't hate it. We'll get to why in a bit.
We are listening to the 27-song version for next week.
I will not do that.
There's one way to avoid it, Garrett.
I am sure I'm going to get there by the end of this episode. It's 18 songs, Tim.
Yeah, it's horrible. We're going to need to really keep this moving.
We should have an official timekeeper. Lord knows we have 23 interns and a producer. One of you could start a watch. Nope. Okay. Well, Tim, you don't hate it. I don't hate it. Sounds like we're both lying and we hate it deeply, but we'll pretend it's the truth and we'll go through it just for ceremony's purposes. I'm remiss that I have to ask it because we are doing a back-to-back artist episode, but let's go ahead and go through it for formality's sake. What is your history with Post Malone's country work?
None whatsoever. I've never heard this before. I had heard of it. I'd heard talk of it. We've had a few run-ins with some of the collaborators on this thing, but I have, to my knowledge, never heard any of these songs before this week. Now, here's where that gets tricky. I might have heard all these songs because they sound like every other goddamn country song. We'll get there.
Sure.
What about you? I assume you've been jamming this thing since mid-August?
Of course. You know me. God, no. Yeah, same history. I've never heard any of this.
But maybe,
why would I have heard this?
Maybe all of it. How would you know?
Sure, that's true. Well, we're going to get to it in general thoughts in a minute. I am curious, Tim. We did Posty last week. We know his history. We know how this atrocity came to be. Do you have anything new to share with us this week, or are we going to cut in the history from last week? What are you feeling?
So I've got some new facts. I've got some new information about him, but I'm going to pepper that through general thoughts and some of the rest of the song by song, because I refuse to do a full history again. I'm going to assume we deedly-dooed it in here. So,
or maybe we didn't.
If we didn't and you want to hear about Post Malone, feel free to go back and listen to last week's prepisode. We probably added it in here. If it is here and you don't want to listen to it 2 weeks in a row, just hit that fast forward button about 24 times and you'll probably be through it.
Yeah, that is about right. And how did this garbage come to be?
Well, Garrett, Post Malone, aka
No.
Poma, aka Richard Austin Post, was born on America's birthday, July 4th, 1995 in Syracuse, New York. His dad, Richard, had been a DJ and introduced him to various forms of music, almost certainly influencing his musical taste for the worse. His family moved to Grapevine, Texas, so that his father could be the concessions manager for the Dallas Cowboys. And while in the DFW Metroplex, as Garrett likes to call it, Posty became interested in learning guitar from playing Guitar Hero, which is gross and stupid.
That's a very confusing sentence, but okay.
He auditioned for an emo-ish metalcore band called Crown the Empire that I have never heard of when he was 14 or 15, but he broke a string in the audition and they simply could not abide that, so he was not invited to join. He would, though, go on to play guitar in some metal bands at some point while working at Chicken Express and made some mixtapes on Audacity that he gave to his high school classmates. He also did a synth pop ballad parody thing using the name Leon DeCino for a class project that I think eventually made its way online. I did not listen to it. He got his stage name, obviously Post is his last name, Post Malone. He got the Malone portion of the name from entering his name into an online rap name generator. Now this sounded fun, of course, so I tried this as well. For example, if you enter Tim R, it will return results like Timmy T Punch, Puff Timmy T Slam, Timmy R Doom, TR Mugshot, Timmy R Love, Hoodie Timmy T Stubbs, aka Stylin' Swag, Timmy R Havoc, which is pretty accurate, Righteous TR Trouble Force, aka Capricious Juice. That one's pretty cool. On the other hand, Garrett H gives Juvenile G, Garrett, aka Puff Glide, G Flava, Jammy Garrett H Bash, Stylin' Garrett G, aka Tilla Trigga, and G Garrett Smooth Thump.
Remember when your rapping name was Low T?
Yeah, and then I found out I had low T and addressed it medically.
And it was, yeah, you did.
And
Maybe
now all
addressed
I
it
want to
too
do
hard.
is fight.
And now Tim has a punching wall.
Let's not talk about my wall. Poma, Garrett went to Tarrant County Community College, but immediately dropped out. He then moved to LA with his good buddy Jason Probst, who is a professional video game streamer, and to that I say, also gross. In LA, he worked as a DJ, but that mostly consisted of him literally just playing My Chemical Romance songs on like his iPod, I guess. Being a DJ is not a job, and if you get seduced by a DJ, you have to own that. That is on you.
You also might have been given GHB.
Right. He formed Blackbird, the musical group, with Jason. They got a house in the San Fernando Valley, and they recorded the song White Iverson in August 2015, which was an immediate hit, Garrett. It only made it to number 14 on the US Billboard 200, but has since sold more than 10 million copies.
What?
And has more than 1 billion streams on both Spotify and YouTube. Yes, he has referred to it as his only good song. Right after.
See, I kind of like the guy.
No, you don't.
I think I do.
No, you don't, Garrett.
We'll see.
Just because he hates him doesn't mean you should like him.
Yeah,
He's right
but that's
to
a
hate
quality
him.
I like in a person.
Right, but sometimes those people are right. For example, I hate me and you don't like me.
Yeah, but I like that you don't like you.
Exactly. So you can like that he doesn't like him. You can agree with him on that. I'm not saying he's wrong about everything.
I see. Well, all right, well, we'll keep going. Jury's still out.
Right after selling that song that sold 10 million copies, he signed a contract with Republic Records, because of course he did. He then immediately performed at Kylie Jenner's 18th birthday party, which led to him meeting K-Way, and then he was featured immediately on The Life of Pablo, see our episode number 4 or so.
Oh, yeah.
But probably don't. I can't imagine it was very good back then. Poma then was the opener for Justin Bieber, aka Juby, on his Purpose World Tour. See our episode number 6. And keep in mind, he's released a song.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think that he is a psyop.
Oh, damn it. You've been listening to too many conspiracy podcasts.
I haven't been listening to enough, Garrett. I've heard nobody mention Post Malone as, being obviously placed there by the CIA or some other shadowy government organization to sucker
quell
us
the
in.
masses?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think at some point he's going to switch messages and we're going to march and invade Canada or
Quite
something?
possibly. What also might happen is that that he is at some point going to reveal that his face tattoos are all fake, and then the dumbasses that got face tattoos to honor him can't get jobs, and so the government has just cut out a bunch of dirtbags from the workforce. This is how they keep the unemployment rate up, Garrett.
The Nazis had it all wrong, you see. You don't put the stars on them. You make it cool to put the stars on yourself.
We're probably going to have to bleep some of that.
Sir, you are a special kind of evil.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And again, we're talking about Post Malone, who definitely said that.
He's more of a pawn. I don't think this is his brainchild.
No, he's got very few brain children, Garrett. In 2016, he released his first mixtape, again, after, being on that K-Way album and opening for Juby. It was called August 26th. He then released his first album, Stony, in December 2016, which he would go on to call, and I'm quoting, mediocre. He's very honest, Tim. Garrett, he's suckering you in. You're going to get face tattoos and be unemployed.
I don't want either of those.
Right. Don't get suckered into this guy. His next album, Beer Bongs and Bentleys, featured the Song of the Week. It was released in 2018. It debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200. And I also believe that 2018 was the year that he got his first face tattoo, or that is what the internet would like you to believe. He also began collaboing with Crocs that year. They've done a number of projects together. You know, Crocs.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
He had a cameo in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and recorded the song Sunflower for it. That song was certified double diamond. 20 million certified sales or whatever in our streaming age. It is, and this is true, the highest certified song in RIAA history to this date.
What?
But somehow was only the second best-selling song of 2019. My point is, I really don't understand what these metrics mean anymore.
Yeah, it's all quite confusing.
Yeah. In 2019, he released the album Hollywood's Bleeding, which again debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200. Then COVID hit, and Poma responded by doing a set of acoustic Nirvana covers from his living room, which again makes this Song of the Week look, pretty shitty. Or I guess in reverse of that. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's unneeded.
Yeah, it's just very average.
Yeah. In 2020, he released a line of French rosé called Masson Number 9, named after his favorite tarot card, the Nine of Swords, a sentence that makes me so angry I can barely read it without slapping somebody.
I'll bet you I know why that's his favorite, because of his favorite quarterback, Tony Romo.
Gross.
Number 9. Yeah, I thought that could make it worse. You know why I say that his Nirvana covers are so bad? Because my standard for non-musicians covering Nirvana is Jared Leto. And unfortunately for Post Malone, Jared Leto's really good at imitating Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, he is.
I wish he would do that. If he went on tour as Kurt Cobain, are you listening, Jared Leto?
I don't think he should do that. I think what he should do is make a 4th Nirvana album and claim to be Kurt Cobain.
Either are possible. Remember that time he tried to start a cult on an island?
I remember that time he did start a cult.
Welcome to Jared Leto Fest.
I was a Letoist for a while.
Yeah, you were. So much linen.
I mean, not enough. When it was important, there was not enough linen, Garrett.
In conversation.
In 2020, he also went on Joseph Rogan's podcast, one of Garrett Harvey's favorites, to discuss his various UFO encounters, of which he has many, his experiences with ghosts, and also weather control conspiracy theories, before it was cool to talk about that in certain ethnic groups and etc. In 2022, he released 12 Carat Toothache, which sadly only made it to number 2 on the US Billboard 200, and then that same year he did the theme song for Chippendale Rescue Rangers, the movie.
I heard that's a funny movie.
Maybe. In 2023, he released The Diamond Collection, a 9-song compilation of his 8 Diamond certified singles. Garrett, 8 singles have sold more than 10 million copies.
Oh my
God. That is a record. He's
so wealthy.
He has the most Diamond singles, Garrett, of anybody. Suck it, Rihanna and Bebe, you fucks.
And anyone? Like, what? I've never heard his music.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though. It's a 9-song compilation with 8 Diamond certified singles. It also included a new song, Chemical, which has not sold that well. It's kind of sad, right? right? It's Tom Petty putting Mary Jane's Last Dance on a greatest hits compilation for the first time, and then just it didn't, like, that's not a hit. It's like Babe Ruth calling his shot and then getting a single off of an error. It's not nothing.
Right.
Like, it's still sold, but meh.
Yeah, maybe don't release, I guess, probably how he met some sort of record contract obligation, as we've seen many times. Like, there's a new one. It's new.
Yeah, probably.
But
like,
otherwise,
don't
don't
call
put
it
that on there.
Diamond. Like,
Yeah.
you're setting yourself up to fail is my point. Also in 2023, he called the ISS and talked to some astronauts. They were, by all accounts, quite excited.
Did he mean to?
Yes, I think so. I think it was a setup thing. I don't think he accidentally dialed the wrong number. I think he probably wanted to talk about those alien encounters he's had.
Oh my God, we're doomed.
In 2023, he released the album Austin, which was apparently much more of a direct pop sound. I don't know. He sang America the Beautiful at like the Super Bowl, I think, in 2024. I have to imagine that was terrible. Then he was on Tay-Tay's Fortnite, which set the record for single day streaming on Spotify, breaking Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You record.
Does he sound like wildly different on all the other albums than this song? Because this is unimpressive.
Yeah, he's sounds bored, high, and like maybe somebody punched him in the mouth a couple of days early. It doesn't matter. We'll get into it. He then went full country, kinda, fulfilling Rappist Lil B's 2017 prediction when he said on Twitter, "Post Malone is slowly turning into a white dude. LOL. He's pushing it. Give it a few years, he's gonna be full country and hate blacks. LOL."
A lot of mixed messages in that tweet.
Right. He was also on Beyonce's Levi's Jeans off of her country album. Then he released his own country album, F-1 Trillion, featuring collabos with Jelly Roll, Chris Stapleton, Blake Shelton, who I've written as a Black Shelton in my notes, Hank Williams Jr., Morgan Wallen, Brad Paisley, Dolly Parton, and etc. And Garrett, I do not want to shoot our collective hate load early, as Garrett says, but maybe stay tuned, folks. I don't know.
It's a huge no thank you from this guy.
All right, fair enough. More importantly, though, he was in the excellent 2024 film Roadhouse, starring Jake Gyllenhaal in a man Garrett Harvey refers to as his hall pass, Conor McGregor. Now, I'm not sure what a hall pass is. It must be some sort of weird Irish thing, but whatever, sounds hot.
Oh my God. Oh, that was really unexpected. No, Tim, not my hall pass. First of all, it's a man.
But he's an Irish man. He's maybe the most Irish man there is.
He's pretty Irish, but again, still, it's a man attracted to women. I hate to have to keep reminding you. It's like you're not hearing me at all. Good stuff. Great history, Tim. That brings us to general thoughts.
Garrett, in addition to listening to these 18 songs 10 times, that is 180 songs, that is approximately 550 minutes of my life this week, I listened to about 12 hours of interviews with this guy just in the background.
Oh, no.
You know, just when I wasn't listening to this, I was listening to him talk to various idiots and, in some cases, right-wing jackasses. I have a fun fact for you.
Ooh.
This man once spent $2 million on a Magic the Gathering card, which is, and this is true, about $2 million too much. And he believes, this was very interesting, he believes that Magic the Gathering is the best game ever created. And here's the interesting part, Garrett. He said that right after a discussion about the game of chess, so I know he knows that exists.
Listen, if I became obscenely wealthy, would I buy expensive things? Probably. Would they be stupid? You betcha. Would I tell people? Absolutely not. Gauche doesn't even begin to cover how gross that is.
Yeah, he also, and this is also true, slightly less than that card for $1.6 million, he bought himself 2 diamond teeth. Garrett, they had to spend about a year designing how to actually like drill a hole in it so it wouldn't ruin the diamond to make it a tooth.
What?
They're 6 carats a piece, and his canines, he's got diamond canines. Anyway, Garrett, on the interviews, I have some thoughts.
God, sure hope nobody runs up to him and rips his fucking teeth out with pliers. That'd be a shame.
You know, Garrett, I know that you're doing some sort of basic instinct thing here where you're just like, no, my alibi is I said I was gonna do it. You're still gonna be a suspect.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
I'll stab you with my diamond teeth.
Take that, copper. Anyway, some thoughts on his interviews. He says yes, sir, and no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, repeat, like, exclusively.
To everyone.
And to people that are like children. It's weird, and it makes him sound like a little boy. I don't think that I would enjoy hanging out with him. I find him mildly annoying, and I don't really want to do mushrooms at this point. I'm busy. But I think he's a genuinely good person, right? I do not hate Post Malone. He seems nice. He seems humble. He seems self-deprecating. He's not a complete jackass. He might be a little dumb. Seems to have the same sense of humor as Seth Rogen, which I'm not really into. But, like, he seems like a genuinely nice person that just sometimes buys diamond teeth and such.
Yeah. See previous comment about being slightly dumb.
Right. And see previous comment about Garrett definitely stealing that man's teeth. And here's the thing. To throw off suspicion, just steal all his teeth, so it's unclear, like, which tooth was he after?
Listen, show me in the Constitution where it says, thou shalt not steal another man's teeth, and I'll give him right back.
I think you're thinking of the Bible.
I'm not.
Anyway, he does seem to have a wealth of knowledge about music in general, music history, also country music, and he truly seems to, like, love all of this stuff. I think you and I could have a really good discussion on the music of other people with him.
Just not his.
Right. The point is, I don't hate him. I kind of hate his music, but I feel like I have the exact opposite opinion of him as Jack White, right? Like, I love Jack's music, but I have no interest in hanging out or speaking to that guy. He seems like a pompous jackass. He's weird in all the wrong ways, and he makes his kids wear suits and keeps them in a box. It just seems like tedious and tiring, but I like his music.
Yeah. Can you just put on a jeans and a t-shirt and we can listen to, like, Dead Leaves? Like, what's going on, my guy? No one's around.
Who's this
for?
Own t-shirts or jeans. It's all polyester all the time for that man. And it's weird colors. It's colors you wouldn't expect pants could be.
Yeah, like burnt sienna.
Well, I feel like you're just discussing the pair of pants that I'm wearing right now. They're cords, if you like.
I do like.
Yeah. Also, I want to say this. It's absolutely fine for this guy to make a country album or any music style he chooses, right? If he wants to fake a Jamaican accent on a reggae album, I'll hate it, but I'm not going to hate him for doing it. That's his right. I'll do an episode on it. But, like, I don't buy into the idea that people should just, like, stick to a certain kind of music that's defined by, like, skin color or geographic origin.
Or just what you started with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the exact opposite of what music should do, right? Like, in theory, this is what a musician should do. Some people should be out there Neil Younging, but...
Now, I don't approve of whatever that Nickelback guy did. No, it wasn't Nickelback. It was, I'm on the outside.
Oh, yeah, so you don't approve of, like, January 6th thing with your music.
Right.
Fair enough.
Maybe it's just personal preference, and so perhaps that's just me.
Yeah. I do think it's funny, like, I heard the word, in fact, I may have heard for the first time the word culture vulture in relation to this guy, and I want to be clear, hate that even more than cultural appropriation, but it's funny that people called him that for going country, because they also called him that specifically for rapping as a white guy a decade ago, so I don't know what people want from him.
I don't know, like slam poetry?
Ooh. No.
I hope not.
Maybe. I don't know. So this album, right, it's incredibly generic. There's no personality to it. If you look at his face, the one thing his music should have is like some personality. But it leans on the collaborators way too much. It comes off sounding like an AI country album. He feels entirely superfluous to this album. There's no distinct sound. There's no experimentation. There's no real mixing of genres. Like, Ike Riley does more of a country rap, like, hybrid thing on hip-hop thighs than this guy can do.
I'm so glad you brought up Ike Riley. I haven't thought of that guy in years.
Oh, you should think about him again. He's very good.
God damn, dude. Hold on. I gotta write that down. What's really weird is I'm almost certain that we had the exact same thing happen the other direction like 6 years ago.
Yeah, probably. He's an easy guy to forget unless you've seen him in person, in which case you cannot forget him.
Yeah, it makes Lyle Lovett look attractive.
He's got a real Pete Townsend face. But there's nothing to separate this from like every other modern country album. Like this sounds like Nashville radio sounded the day before this album was released.
Oh, yes.
If it was terrible and amateurish, I would like it more, I think.
Yes.
You know, if it was interesting and unique. But this album in part sucks because it doesn't suck enough. Like,
yeah, that's a catch-22 if I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
Now, allow me to say what you're saying in a positive way. This wildly exceeded my base expectations of his ability to perform on a country album and not have it sound like insanity.
That's true. I mean, he does it. They integrate him very well. And I think, again, part of that is because this is mostly not his product. He kind of went to Nashville in this Charlie Handsome fella, put together a team of songwriters. And I've got written down, I ran the numbers on this. It's weird how many people, and we'll get into it. But
yeah, every song has like 4 to 7 writers.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting part is that Post Malone's on, I think, all of them, if not most of them.
He is, but doesn't mean anything.
But the collaborators don't appear on nearly as many of them as I expected. It really is Charlie Handsome and this like team of country writers.
Yeah, they made him a country album that he then sings on, and he sings better than I was expecting. It's not to say there's no auto-tune on here.
Sure.
But I mean, he does a better job of integrating himself than I would have thought. I agree completely with that. But the numbers here, 24 people have writing credits on the version we listened to. Another 8 on the Long Bed extended track listing that no one should ever listen to. There are 28 musicians and singers credited on this. Poma is only credited with lead vocals. I don't think he contributes at all to like the actual instrumentation. And there are 15 people involved in the production and technical side, mixing, engineering, and whatnot. So after accounting for some doubles, it took 60 people to make this record.
Which, I mean, honestly, isn't tremendously different from a modern hip hop or rap album, or even possibly a modern like pop country album.
But again, it should be just like what this album should be. If you wanted to make a country album, get like 3 of these guys, these like songwriters, maybe some that also play instruments decently, and go fucking sit in a bar or something, the back room of somewhere, and just fuck around for a month or 2, and just whatever comes out of that would be more interesting than this.
I don't know why. Now, I don't remember anything you said about Post Malone in the history because
no one does.
We shred it and burn it. But I got the impression that he had some dalliances with drugs and alcohol and some tough relationships. Like, have him tell those stories to the songwriters, have them write the songs, and then they can all sing them together.
Yeah, absolutely. This thing, it's weird because it is just wall-to-wall country tropes. There's gun songs, there's drinking songs, there's songs about loving your woman, but she better be loyal to you despite you being up to no good. Sometimes she's up to no good. There's shitty soft ballads. There's the dumb puns and bad metaphors that modern country leans on. There's a song about going to Mexico when you're at the end of your rope. Like, if you feed all of country music into an AI like lyric and music generator, like this is what you'd get. Or conversely, if you go to Nashville and just hire the poppiest of pop country writers to write and perform an album that you then sing part of, this is what you'd get.
Yes, but I completely agree.
Have you ever heard, there's like a mid-80s, I think it's like 1984, it's a David Allen Coe song. It's You Never Even Call Me By My Name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got that spoken word bridge about how this guy wrote him the perfect country song, and he was like, this doesn't mention mama, trains, trucks, prison, and getting drunk. And then there's a new verse, well, I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain, but before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, she got run over by a damn train. Like,
yeah,
that song was making fun of the tropes that this album exists exclusively within 40 goddamn years before this album was made. I just don't know what this is. It does not represent him, Garrett.
It does not. It is, I mean, he is a pop star.
Sure, right. But
so this doesn't surprise me. That's the pop formula applied to country. And honestly, it's the modern country formula applied to country. This stands almost no different than its contemporaries in the genre. Not many people are out there doing anything different from this. Not to this degree. This is, I actually several times in my notes have, if I didn't know better, I would think he was mocking the tropes of country music. He's so on the nose, but he's not. Right. He's just that on the nose.
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing that David Allen Coe thing,
right,
but he's not.
He isn't. Exactly. Let's see here. Everything you said is accurate. It becomes quite redundant. In fact, the number one theme that just starts to really get on my nerves is the regret over a lost lost or broken relationship. There's got to be 8 songs about it.
Yeah, it's about half the album.
Kills me.
Yeah.
And that let this be said. I think we've alluded to it, but let's get it out there on the record, Gino. This is too long.
Yeah, it's too long by at least 8 songs.
I was going to say 9, but I'll give it grace and say 8, 10. Here's the thing. You make this 10 songs, I've got a lot more patience and like acceptance for this.
Yeah, because there are about half the songs I have notes like we usually have of, I thought of something weird that this song, it's definitely not about, but it could be about, and that would be fun. Then about half the songs, I'm just like, I don't fucking know, man. This is stupid and boring.
Yeah, you miss your lady. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. And let's say something good about this. There is some excellent instrumentation on this record. Like some really solid playing. A lot of it's boring and uninspired, but there are some really catchy moments on this. There's some hooks and some chories that I think that's right.
Okay.
That, I mean, you get my toe tapping a little bit, but then,
toe tapping a little bit there?
Yeah, just doing a little toe tap for you,
Little toe tap.
Keep the beat.
Tap the
keep
toe.
the beat. Let everyone know around me what I'm listening to on my headphones.
Timothy Richardson notoriously cannot keep a beat.
That's absolutely true. I have no rhythm. I also have no melody.
It's fascinating. You're like my Dudley from Royal Tenenbaums.
I thought you were going to say I was like your dad.
Nope. Although... Now, he loves me. Although, I will say, when you can keep a rhythm and a beat is when you are making up your own stupid songs.
Oh, yeah. When I'm singing to a doggie about being a doggie.
Right. Or anything.
It's mostly about being doggies.
It's usually to and about the dog, yes. But you do sing a lot of them. And they're usually on beat. They're terrible.
Well, that's not true. They're pretty good.
By song standards.
Oh, yeah. But by dog song standards, they're all right.
Top notch. Among the best. Certainly top 2 in the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do get the impression that perhaps Posty asked everybody in Nashville to guest on the album, expecting a third of them to say yes, and then was shocked when everyone was like, yeah, I'll be more popular by glomming onto you.
Yeah.
Because it is a disgusting amount of guest singers.
Yeah, and it's weird. I made the assumption that the songs that didn't have a guest singer were the ones that he wrote or that that were more personal to him, but they're not. That's not, one of them is, but that song also he didn't write, and it is the worst song.
Is that the last song?
Yeah, we'll get there.
I'm just checking. We seem to be roughly on the same page. That's good.
How about this? Let's do a weird thing this week. Let's start with the last song, because I am angry.
Yeah, then you could actually possibly get less angry as we go. That seems
then let's
wrong.
not do that. Let's build up for that big old do you hate it at the end.
Sure. Last nice thing I can say for sure is I like the cover of this album, and I like the cover of the extended version even more.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, good job, Posty. Maybe a couple more things. Also, these are competent songs. I know we said that they get a little repetitive and they're not terribly inventive, but they're shockingly competent, and as Tim said, with moments of wow, this is really good. Not his part, but the instrumentation and the music, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, what else need to be said before we get into it?
I think that's about it.
Track number 1, Wrong Ones, featuring Tim McGraw.
I got fuck you, money, girl. Come on and get you some.
This is a song about drinking and getting in trouble and meeting sketchy women, sung by a very nice 29-year-old boy from Grapevine, Texas, who again says yes, sir, yes, ma'am to everyone, irrespective of their age, and a 57-year-old who participates in the Westminster Kennel Club dog show and won in 2023. He was brought in to give this material country legitimacy, despite owning a private island in the Bahamas.
God damn it.
My point is these are hard men. Let's get into it.
Yeah, they are. Lift kid on a limousine. I got 10 problems down in Tennessee, and I ain't got the time to fix them all. Skip breakfast at Tiffany's for a little sermon with Bethany. Now I'm sitting at a bar on 17th, and I'm gone.
Yeah, it almost feels like he's injecting a little bit of personality with the lift kid on a limousine, right? It's the Post Malone countryfying himself, I guess. But it's just, whatever.
Yeah, he's banging ladies, possibly referring to them as problems.
Well, yeah.
I do like a car, a lifted car.
Yeah, this is, I think, where you and me differ because you like monster trucks.
Sure, who doesn't?
Well, I mean, I like them, I guess, but I don't want to drive to work in one.
Oh, see, that's crazy. Because you could go like anywhere.
Yeah,
because it's a monster truck. Like, if it's not a matter of like, well, you know, I've had nice cars, even nice big cars, and you can sort of dominate the road to some degree. But at the end of the day, you don't want to get one of those nice big cars scratched. You got a monster truck, Tim. That's not even a conversation. I'll crush you.
Yeah, see, this is why I exclusively drive rental cars.
That's amazing. It really is a life hack.
Yeah,
now, granted, most people don't live in a city in which you absolutely do not need a car, though I insist on having one.
Well, when I lived in Austin for the last like 2 years, I drove basically just rental cars because my car was rapidly dying. The only problem I have with driving a rental car in some sort of urban hellscape is that not everyone knows it's a rental car. So I have to prove it far too often, right? Like you have to bash quite a few people before people are just like, I think that's a rental car. We should let him go. Because I would prefer if people just got the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, God. Anyway, we must continue. With them cold ones coming and that smoke filling up my lungs. I got fuck you money, girl. Come on and get you some. Where are they? What are they getting? Money? Are they getting money? Are they getting sex? Are they at a brothel? Is this a bar?
What he's saying, he's at a bar, right? He's smoking in a bar that definitely does not allow smoking in it. And he's harassing women. And when people are just like, you've got to stop, he's like, I got fuck you money. And he does. He can harass and smoke whomever and wherever he wants, respectively.
Yeah, I mean, that isn't untrue.
Yeah, it continues. And it's hard to walk a straight line when they curving up them jeans. I'm just looking for the right one, but them wrong ones keep looking at me. It's basically just these repurposed country tropes. There's cars, there's trucks, there's churches, there's bars, there's jeans, there's sexy women in said jeans, and everyone's getting in trouble.
In my mind, these are so boring. I came up with ridiculous stories to entertain myself. In my mind, he's at like a Hooters or what's the other one? Like a Twin Peaks. And it's like he just can't stop going. He's like, man, I just keep showing up and these ladies cannot stop coming up to me. They're your waitress.
Yeah, and also, please stop smoking in here.
Yeah, I got fuck you money. Right, but there's also like permits and stuff. So like, I don't even know who we call. The fire marshal?
Then Tim McGraw comes on, Garrett, straight out of Louisiana. I'm a bad boy, real good man. Got a six-pack and a farmer's tan, top of the world. And I want to stop there because I want you to know that, Garrett, for this podcast, I did in fact Google images of a shirtless Tim McGraw because I thought, listen, this sounds like the Night Watchman describing how lean and shaved he was, you know?
Sure.
And then you Google him and you're like, you're not that lean. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Garrett, I gotta say, we generally say don't Google things.
That's usually
Google
the rule.
Tim McGraw shirtless or naked, up to you. At the very least, shirtless. He is selling himself short here.
And you did this for the show.
I did. Yeah. Listen, I was going to make fun of, I had all this material written about this this is gross. You're bragging about having a six-pack. I think he's being self-deprecating.
Pretty ripped up, eh?
He is, Garrett. He is. And he will show you on that internet. You don't even have to go to OnlyFans. You can go to Google Images. It's right there, front street.
I'm good. Stop it. Turn your screen around.
But look at it, Garrett. There's at least 8.
Yes, he's in great shape.
At least 8. He says 6, Garrett.
Quit counting his pack. Okay. The very first time I heard this song, you've got like how Post Malone's, he's got fuck you money, come and get some. And when, what's this guy's name?
Tim McGraw.
Yeah, when Tim McGraw like does his verse and replies, straight out of Louisiana, I'm a bad boy, real good man. I was just like, is he hitting on Post Malone?
I mean, kinda.
It's kind of a call and response, and I was just like, got a six-pack and a farmer's tan.
Yeah, he's trying to arouse Post Malone, I think. He's tired of that Faith Hill.
Maybe maybe the character at least is like working at that Coyote Ugly or whatever, and he sees Post Malone come in, he's like, that's my meal ticket out of here.
I can turn him.
Oh, God. Let's see here. We get a slight bit of false modesty with an alteration of the chorus when Tim sings, I got country money, honey, come and get you some instead of fuck you money.
I think Faith Hill won't let him say fuck.
Maybe Jesus won't.
Maybe. I think, though, it's like a Jim Gaffigan thing where if you listen to his first album, he cursed and then he got married and he got real clean. It's probably a business decision, but I think it's coming at least a little bit from his wife, yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh, oh.
He's Catholic, I think.
Probably. I mean, Garrett, those abs say Catholicism. Fun Snopple-branded Tim McGraw fun fact sponsored by Snop Dogg, number 404. Despite not being a real Tim, Samuel Timothy McGraw was once arrested in Buffalo, New York in the year 2000. Now, Kenny Chesney was there with him, and Kenny asked for permission to mount a police horse. And Erie County deputies, apparently starstruck for some reason, allowed him to just get on their police horse. And because Ken is quite the rapscallion, he immediately just rode off with it. So, which is pretty funny. I assume they were quite drunk. When the police deputies caught up with him and tried to remove him from said horse, McGraw, again presumably drunk, thought that the deputies, despite being in police uniform, were trying to steal a horse from his friend, so he attempted to choke one of them out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were acquitted of all charges, but that was very definitely a felony that he committed. I mean, I kind of want to drink with Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, they sound like a lot of fun.
It sounds
terrifying.
like a lot more fun than Post Malone.
Yeah, I feel like that ends with like PlayStation 2 till midnight and then naps because everyone's too high.
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney, though, he'll steal a fucking horse.
I'm gonna wrestle a horse.
Is that a police horse, Ken? Oh, shit, man. I think it might be. Anyway, we got a ride, Marmalade. That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Track number 2, Finer Things, featuring Hank Williams Jr.
Caviar, South of Florida, cigar, stag, rib, single action, falling.
I think that of the three of them, Hank Williams Jr. is the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
You like Hank the Third more than Jr.?
Yes.
I don't love his, I drink whiskey and I smoke all day and eat nothing but fried pork and I'm just doing great. Like, I was legitimately shocked to see that he was still alive.
Yeah.
I thought for sure heart disease and alcoholism had put him to bed in like 2001.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's wild.
I will also say this. They look, and I believe the internet thinks this as well, these guys look quite similar.
Interesting.
Like if
That's
you look
not
at
what
like
you
a
wanna hear.
1985 Hank Williams Jr., it's pretty Post Malone-y.
That's wild. How
Yeah.
unfortunate for both of them.
Right, right. Less face tattoos on the older man, but this song follows the exact formula of the previous song where Poma sings a verse and a chorus, followed by a guest singer singing a verse and the same chorus.
Yeah, that's largely the format for almost every song on this album.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're singing about. Catfish, caviar, south of Florida, cigar. I'll stop, I'm sorry. Stag grip, single action, falling out my chrome hearts. Platinum on my teeth and Wagyu on my grill. And George Jones cranking out my Coupe de Ville. Yeah, I'm a 5-star, hell-raising dive bar rock star. Let's take it line by line. First of all, catfish, caviar, south of Florida, cigar. I'm confused because the first part of that makes me think you are listing garbage food and pretending like it's fancy because that's what you're doing. But the second half is alluding to a Cuban cigar, which is quite fancy and nice. And then he talks about other nice things like a stag grip single action, which I don't know why he's talking about a gun, and chrome heart clothes, which are quite expensive and ugly.
I think the theme here is that he's rich, but he's stupid, right? So he's getting caviar, but he's getting catfish caviar. He's getting platinum teeth. He's getting diamond teeth. He's got Wagyu beef, and he's just fucking it up on his grill.
He's walking around with a single action shotgun, but it's hanging out of like very expensive clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Okay.
Right, he's rich, but stupid.
What a weird thing to brag about. Song continues. I got a thang for the thang. That's important. I got a thang for the finer things. I'm in that deer blind with a diamond ring.
And that
My
bothers
Lambo.
me because I know he knows how to say things because he says things, but also thang.
Well, he has a thang.
Ugh.
I'm in that deer blind with a diamond ring. My Lambo and my ammo's all camo green. Yeah, I got an F-1 trillion limousine. You got an F-150, man? I got like way more Fs. I guess.
I
don't
love
know.
the idea. It's like a weird brag. It's the two big bags of sand kind of thing where like he does not know what the 150 means.
It's definitely the best joke of the whole album. Yeah. So he's got an F-1 trillion limousine. I got a 10-point blonde in the shotgun seat.
I want to
got a
stop
thing.
right there. I got a 10-point blonde in the shotgun seat. What he means by that is he has a very sexy, a 10 out of 10 lady, a blonde lady in his car with him.
Correct. Possibly a corpse.
Now, I'm no hunter, Garrett.
No,
I'm pretty
you're no
sure
hunter.
that...
Well, you're a bit of a hunter.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I have hunted a bit. Let's not go into it anymore.
Sure.
I've never hunted animals. Well,
That's for sure. Well,
okay, I've never hunted deer.
you've never... There you go.
I'm pretty sure, though, that points occur on antlers, which occur on bucks, aka boy deer.
Sure.
So I think
I was going to
he's
say
got
it just had to do with boobies.
No, I think he's got a hot blonde dude in that car with him.
Oh, I see. Maybe. That's fascinating. That was one of the lines, though, that made me think, like, is he making fun of the whole thing? Like, I got an F-1 trillion limousine and a 10-point blonde in the shotgun seat. Like, these are decent jokes.
Yeah, but I don't think they are. I think he genuinely, like, this is a serious career transition for him.
Yeah. Okay, now, this is one of the few songs, not the only one, but one of the few where we switch over to the guest singer, and the guest singer makes me immediately like Post Malone, like, way more.
Yeah, well, Hank Williams Jr. sucks.
He's off-putting.
Yeah, he is.
He sings, I got a 50-foot pontoon, tripled up Evinrude, leaving me a tidal wave of wake when I flow through. Sipping on a solo of Pappy Reserve, big H on the top of my getaway bird. I'll turn up the rambling man till the whole lake knows I'm a Hank fan. Let me recap. This gentleman has a way overpowered fishing boat where he enjoys drinking excessively, very expensive bourbon while he listens to music way too loud and brags about who his dad is on the lake.
Yes, Hank Williams Jr. sucks.
Yeah. I did do a bit of Googling for your Christmas present this year, Tim. Sad to say it's not going to happen. Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve Bourbon. Care to guess what that's going for per bottle currently? It's not as much as you'd think. Oh, no, it's much more than you'd think. What's wrong with you? It's $7,000.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's that good. But more importantly, don't drink that on the lake.
Well,
right?
I think he's just saying he's rich but stupid. That's the theme of this song. It should be called Rich and Stupid.
This album should be called Rich and Dumb.
Well, all his career should be called Rich and Dumb. Also, does he have a helicopter pad on top of a pontoon boat? What does that
God,
even
I didn't
mean?
actually put that together, but that's what he's implying.
I don't think that works.
That's super not safe. I don't give a fuck. Landed on the goddamn boat. Okay.
So many decapitated guests.
I heard a story about a woman who got caught in the rear fan blade of a helicopter yesterday.
You better hope you die instantly.
She didn't. It filleted her bicep and tricep.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it caught her 3 times in the skull. Didn't kill her.
I will say this. If I am in that situation, Garrett, you stand me up and walk me back into that thing.
I'll chuck you like old laundry. This woman, so she's lying on the ground underneath the propeller because what happened, obviously it happened in like 1.3 seconds, but she got hit 5 times. And so when the paramedics get there, they're like, no, she's clearly gonna be dead. And they get her and she just whips her head around and she goes, are you gonna take me to the hospital? And he's like, yeah, I am. Downside, we're almost certainly going to have to get into a helicopter. Not this one though, you broke it. It only stopped hitting her when she broke the blades. With her face.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. After Hank Williams, we get a beautiful instrumental break. Couldn't speak more highly of it. Chorus a couple more times. Couldn't care less. And that brings us to track number 3, I Had Some Help, featuring enemy of the show, Morgan Wallen.
Is Morgan Wallen going to prison for almost killing those cops with that chair he allegedly threw off that roof?
I doubt it. I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine.
Oh, good for him.
It's going to be like that horse incident.
Oh, acquittal.
Dude, this song, I don't expect you to have heard this like I heard it or to ever go back and listen to it, but I'm just going to say this in case anybody gives a shit. This song opens almost exactly like Tom Petty's Learning to Fly, and it just pissed me off the whole time.
It kind of does, yeah.
It's very similar. Anyway, instead, this boy, howdy.
Yeah, this is another one of those classic songs about how the person you're dating is the real asshole and it's not really your fault.
Yeah, well, it's at least not only your fault.
Well, yeah.
But I have a great alternate theory here.
Ooh, all right.
And also, this thing is just almost a country song. It's almost a fucking musical. He says, you got a lot of nerve, don't you, baby? I only hit the curb because you made me. You're telling all your friends that I'm crazy, like I'm the only one. Why'd you throw them stones if you had a wife wild hair of your own or two, living in your big glass house with a view I thought you knew. So, what if they both have a severe drinking problem, but the thing she does when she gets super drunk is gets really concerned about his drinking problem and organizes like several interventions, but she's blackout drunk?
I like that.
And he's just like, what do you mean? She's also hammered. And she's like, this is not about me, Carl. This is about you. God, but like, rather than like getting super drunk and texting your friends or getting on internet or Instagram stories like some of y'all fucking psychos do, her thing is just like getting real concerned about your health. She's like, we have to break up. Your drinking is out of hand. Like, you're not going to remember this tomorrow. But of course, he gets indignant and says, I had some help. It ain't like I can make this kind of mess all by myself. Don't act like you ain't helped me pull that bottle off the shelf. Been deep in every weekend if you couldn't tell. They say teamwork makes the dream work. Hell, I had some help. It's both our faults.
Yeah.
Or what if she's too supportive? And so like they're living like a raucous lifestyle and she's just like, you know what? Kenny, you could take that motherfucker. You should punch him in the face. You know what, Lurleen? You're fucking right. Hey, you big ugly son of a bitch, I don't care if you are 1.5 feet taller. I'll kick your ass. I can't feel my teeth. And then like,
that's why he had to get those diamond teeth.
That's right. Kenny, I think you could jump that on your dirt bike. You think so, Lurleen? Yeah, I fucking think you can. Okay. So like after several arrests and hospital bills, he's just like, I can't do this anymore. You're too supportive of me. I can't do the things you think I can. I'm not your Superman. I'm a man with face tattoos and diamond teeth.
Do you think maybe he got those diamond teeth so a la Futurama, he could eat other teeth?
Maybe. Now, you don't know the answer to this, I'm sure, but I'd love it if you did. Did they put diamonds in his teeth? Are they caps?
They're either caps or completely replaced. I don't know. I assume they can come out because I don't know that I've only seen, I don't know.
Post Malone, write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com. What's going on with those teeth? Also, listeners, hatepod.com, now fully functional.
Oh, well, that's a surprise because it's been trash for so long.
I swear to Christ. For a man that has zero fundamental understanding of how the internet or even general technology works.
I know how I can get places.
I know how I can get places. Anyway.
Stand by it.
You thought I'd take the blame for us a-crumbling? Go round like you ain't guilty of something? Already lost the game that you've been running. Guess it's catching up to you, huh? And the only thing I want to say here is, this is a weird Southern expression that I'm curious if our listeners have any interaction with, as well as you. Have you ever in real life encountered somebody that says, you trying to run a game on me?
No, I've seen it in, it's a shorthand for saying somebody's a hick on like American Dad or something like that.
Right. So my government teacher, my AP government teacher in high school had two very funny quirks. One was the aforementioned. He would say, Mr. Harvey, are you trying to run a game on me, son? When I would be lying to his face, and I was in fact trying to run a game upon him. And then the other thing was he served in Vietnam, and when the tardy bell was about to ring, he would stand in the hallway and shout, La day, Charlie in the trees, get in your classroom.
You went to a fun high school.
It was unaccredited.
Yeah, that is fair. Now, Garrett, do you have a high school degree still?
I do, despite your best efforts.
Yeah, I'll keep emailing him. That's all I got to say about this song.
Fantastic. Track number 4, Pour Me a Drink, featuring enemy of Garrett, Blake Shelton.
Really went and messed it up again. Now my baby's goner than
Of course Blake Shelton is on this song. Blake Shelton is an alcoholic. Allegedly. But, I mean...
Blake Shelton cannot sing or participate in life without the assistance of alcohol.
Right.
Allegedly.
Yes.
But it's true.
Right.
Is he Tip It Back?
He is, I think. No, that's Florida-Georgia line, I think. I don't know. We shredded and burned both those so long ago.
Yeah. Listeners write in, who tipped it back for 5 show points?
No. 5? Yeah. All right. That's fair. Because I'm not going to look it up.
It's +2 convenience factors. So yeah, 5 show points. Write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Which artist tipped it back?
Right. This song is about how anything from a huge life change to a minor inconvenience to simply going about your day just knocks them right off that wagon. They use anything as an excuse.
Yeah, I summed it up with, this song is a celebration of alcoholism and aiming low.
Absolutely. 40 hours got me going out my mind. Simply working the amount of time every other American works is reason for drinking. It's too much. Dallas dropped another game in overtime. They always do. Drink every fucking Sunday there. Caught a ticket speeding down the 65. Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. As soon as that cop
that is
drives off,
frustrating.
you can pop that beer open. That works. Don't know where I'm going. Basically, again, everything so far, minor inconveniences for the most part set them off. Then in comes Blake Shelton. Guess I really went and messed it up again. Now my baby's goner than the Tulsa wind. Judging by the stone sober state I'm in, need to crack one wide open. So, that's a little bit of a bigger thing, but I like the idea that it's not because his lady left, like a Tulsa wind, I guess. It's judging by the stone sober state I am. Sobriety is my cue to get drunk.
And if I had to guess as to why she left, it probably has something to do with that drinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Somebody pour me a drink. Somebody bum me a smoke. I'm about to get on a buzz. I'm about to get on a roll. Yeah, I've been breaking my back just keeping up with the Joneses. Y'all know what I mean. And y'all know how it goes is. When I'm...
How it goes is... It's...
I don't think it's in the song.
I don't either, but it's real
but
funny.
It should be. When it's up on a Friday and I'm paid, slide over my way. I can't even think when I hear one's calling my name. Hey. So he can't even think straight. All he can think about is booze.
Yeah.
Now, I am curious. I know the answer with you, Tim, because you are the least object-oriented human being I've ever met.
Thank you.
Yes, to a fault. It's irritating. Although when you do like something, my God, are you irritating about it? Yeah, you're just irritating. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm sorry. I am endlessly interested with the concept of keeping up with the Joneses, because this is a trait that I at least understand from the standpoint of when I was 15 in high school, I grew up in a somewhat rural place. And so I wore boots and Wranglers at a time when as an adult, I'm just why? The only reason I was wearing those is that's what everybody else had on. But as an adult, what is the need to follow what other adults are doing? You're an adult now. You can just do what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
and what I want happens to be to dress like the people I see on Instagram, but that's what I choose.
My form of personal expression is extreme conformity.
Absolutely.
Fascinating stuff. Bourbon brown eyes trying to get me drunk. Ain't stopping till the bottle and the job is done. Hey, I think I might have found my future love. Buddy, you should probably buy her one.
I think this verse, Poma is talking directly to his alcohol, and Blake Shelton is misunderstanding him, right? He's sitting there just, oh, bourbon brown eyes, you bottle, you're trying to get me drunk. I love you. And there's a pretty lady on the other side of him just coincidentally, and Blake Shelton leans over and is like, you should buy her a drink, man. It's happening.
I like the idea that he's just pounding a bottle of liquor while he's chatting up a woman, and his buddy's like, you should offer her one. He's like, oh, right. You like bourbon straight from a bottle?
Yeah, I was picturing this as just the Troy McClure, the delicious bourbon, brownest of the brown liquors. So tempting. What's that? You want me to drink you? Oh, you're going to need some David Crosby to tuck you down there.
Oh, God. He was a sober voice for so many who needed it. After years of being very, very unpredictable and dangerous.
That's true.
But I do think he was a sponsor for several super famous sober people.
Yeah, probably. Track number 5, Have the Heart, featuring, God damn it, Dolly Parton.
Sexy. I like the way that my bed is looking over your...
Well, this one's easy. No notes.
Really?
I'm joking.
Dolly Parton is a national treasure, and she should not be subjected to this.
Yeah. However, they do something unique on this song that they don't do on most of the, maybe any of the other songs. This is a straight up duet.
Yeah.
It is those two together or her alone.
There's another one that they do it, but the vocals of the two people duetting don't line up at all, and it...
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But
migraine fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, so this begins, baby, I don't have the heart to break yours. Yeah, and trouble rode in on the back of a pale white horse. You're so sweet, and trying to leave is like slamming a revolving door. Baby, I don't have the heart to break yours. So it seems like a simple country song. You got the semi-clever turn of phrase, like a Ringoism almost.
Sure.
But I focused on the pale white horse because that's a fun reference. I like to think that the trouble that's coming between these two lovers is the literal biblical apocalypse of 2031 as foretold in Revelation, right? And Dolly Parton is such a wonderful lady, Garrett. I assume she would be dating somebody wonderful too, not somebody like Post Malone, somebody like Jesus. And then the end times come and he has to pack up and go to war against the devil, and it's hard because she's a great lady.
Sure, I see. And she knows that it would be easier to break up so that they're not worried about each other while he's battling the devil.
Right.
But they also don't want to hurt each other because they love one another.
Yeah. Or maybe
And he wants to break up, of course, because he's got to go, vomit up that mouth sword any day now.
Sure.
Go to work.
But it doesn't have to be Jesus. It could be like a Kurt Russell character from those movies where he was in prison in New York and LA.
I just watched Escape from LA the other day.
Snake?
Hey, Amazon.com. What's the deal with making me watch 8 fucking commercials to watch Escape from LA?
Oh, God.
I almost smashed our TV. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was only like 4 minutes of commercials, but still, they interrupted it again. I turned it off. I was just like, I don't need to watch commercials for a Kurt Russell movie I've seen 287 times that I've never once actually thought, that was a really good movie. It's garbage, but it's funny.
We own it.
Yeah, but I don't want to get the fucking thing out. Anyway.
Garrett, I didn't write down all of the lyrics to this. I'm 90% sure that these monsters auto-tuned Dolly Parton at one point.
Okay, so yes, I do think that happened, and it's a debate in my mind because it was either auto-tune or she's 80.
Maybe.
I wasn't sure. Or maybe they did it because she's quite old, and there's parts of it that you're just like, yeah, because you can hear her teeth. She's got some Danny Glover teeth. Yeah, well, yours are just in the way. I do want to bring up one part of your mouth.
Okay.
Of your mouth, your words, your sounds. I don't know. Fix them. Song goes, I should be calling it quits instead of calling you up. We should be making some plans instead of making love. We're playing chicken with enough is enough. And I do have to say, the idea of Post Malone and Dolly Parton having intercourse is disgusting.
Artists
and
out
then
there.
later you hear like a 78-year-old Dolly Parton go, I don't have the heart. You want to hear something sexy? And keep in mind, I fucking love Dolly Parton, but I did not need to hear my Aunt Dolly at 80 say, you want to hear something sexy? No. And I doubt I'm gonna. And then I didn't. It was gross. She said, I like the way my bed is looking over those boots, and them bell bottoms I wear make walking out hard to do. We know well that it ain't gonna work. Oh, what the hell's one more night gonna hurt? Gross. And that's the one where she's talk singing instead of like, that kind of singing. And so like, that's where you can really hear her teeth and or throat.
That's fair. But again, national goddamn treasure. And
yeah, I'd go to war for her.
Yeah.
Track number 6, What Don't Belong to Me.
After them halfway lovers, I left some of them 2 drunk summers.
Garrett, I have a proposal for you. Let's
up?
skip What Don't Belong to Me.
Let me just make sure that I don't have anything I absolutely have to say there. I do not.
Track number 7, Goes Without Saying, featuring Brad Paisley.
Goes without saying, she ain't coming back.
The Pays.
Garrett, I have a proposal for you. His lady left. It's a pretty boring song. Basically, it begins, could have turned my whiskey and my crazy down a notch. Could have brought a few more dozen from that on my way home flower shop. Should have said I'm sorry. Finally got around to changing. Yeah, it goes without saying, she ain't coming back. He sucks.
Yeah, she left him for being a real shitty human being, and he realized it too late.
Yeah.
It kind of just keeps going like that. Now, Tim, you do have some experience in this department. You've broken up with a person by just simply never speaking again, and that person mutually decided to just never speak to you again. Didn't that happen to you? Wasn't
that was sort of an accident. I mean...
What do you mean an accident?
So my phone, it was going down the tubes anyway. This was not something that was going to last. But like, this was fairly quick out of college. My phone, I don't remember. I think I like updated it and her number got lost.
That's fucking great.
And so I didn't have, I could have gone by her house, I guess, and been like, hey, here's what happened. But I didn't have her phone number. And I was like, that's fine. I'm sure she will like text me me or call me or something very soon, then I'll have it and we can continue this for the next couple of months before it inevitably ends. And she just never did, and I didn't care enough to do anything.
That's awesome.
Listener,
write in. Who were you? hatePodMail@gmail.com. I'm sure you're out there.
I apologize. Like, I did genuinely lose your number. You're maybe the bad guy of this story, because unless that exact same thing happened to you, technically you ghosted me.
God, that's funny.
But again, I could have gone by your house or,
Track number 8, Guy for That, featuring Luke Combs.
Got a sight in my rifle, my mama's new boyfriend.
This song, Garrett, I think might be real fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is a song about hiring either a bounty hunter or some sort of lady catcher. Like hiring somebody that can abduct and then contain a lady so she can't escape.
Spot on.
All right. I've got a guy to sight in my rifle. My mama's new boyfriend rebinds Bibles. Ricky down the road, he resoles Red Wings. Hell, I got a guy for every damn thing. Oh, that ain't exactly what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for someone to put her tires back in the drive. He's got guys for everything. The one thing he would like to have, Backpage.com and Craigslist, is a guy who will kidnap a lady for him.
Well, he just wants somebody that will convince her to return.
Yeah, however it happened. Listen, I'm with
extreme prejudice.
I'm paying you however you want, as long as you make sure that happens and she is never able to leave again. Listen, I need a guy to go out there and hunt down and retrieve my property, and again, my property is a lady.
You're getting paid to put butts in seats.
Well, that's one butt.
I'm going to give you $50K to get her here, and I'm going to give you another $50K to convince her not to leave. How you do either of those is entirely up to you, sir. I don't know your business. I guess it would be kind of a deprogramming or a reprogramming, because those people exist.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a reprogramming, though.
What if she just broke up with you? You hire a man, because, okay, so these people exist, where if, like, your kid gets taken by a cult, you can hire somebody to come fucking basically kidnap your kid, lock him in a motel, and deprogram them for, a couple weeks. What if you tell one of these guys, like, yeah, my girlfriend joined this cult, she's staying with this guy, he's the leader or whatever. They're just in a happy, like, monogamous relationship, and he's just like, yeah, she's not gonna be your slave anymore, god damn it, and drags her out, like, holy shit, what the fuck was that?
I love that. It's the same concept of if you accuse somebody of gaslighting you and they're not, you're gaslighting them.
Correct.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I love this idea.
I don't know if it's the same thing. I want to make sure I'm not co-signing that.
I think it's the same thing. My point is, stop fucking accusing me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, Garrett.
The point is, stop saying it's fucking over, Charlene, because it isn't. Right. And Mr. Johnson over here says 3 weeks from now, you're going to agree. Now, Tim, to take it into the real world, she's searching for someone who's going to build it back, but I ain't got a guy for that. So that set me with a different question. Assuming you're not trying to physically kidnap a human being, are there people on the internet that claim to help you get your girl back? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, of course there are. There's guys that will date your girlfriend after she breaks up with you and treat her poorly to make you look good in comparison.
Well, you have stolen all of my thunder, because what I found is not nearly as terrifying as what you just said.
Go ahead.
That is a level of social engineering that I think might border on illegal.
No.
That is crazy. Collusion to manipulate emotions? I don't know. That feels like, I don't want to call it sexual assault, but it is like coordinated seduction.
Yeah.
Because like you lure her in, right, as the second guy, and then he's got to be a piece of garbage.
Yeah. It but might like also, this might be partially a review with Andy Daly bit. I don't know.
I see. Interesting. Once again, you are unable to decipher the difference between reality and
this
the
is
show
real. This is
review.
real. The problem, though, is if she, like, what if they just fall in love? And,
Ooh, that isn't good. Well, what I found was not your weird Craigslist thing. I found a service called RelationshipHero.com. Relationships Hero's website says, quote, our professional coaches specialize in fixing breakups, 100% private and secure. Trusted guides that help you navigate dating, marriages, breakups, and more. What?
Is it like couples, or is this just you? Like,
no, so this is you.
This is
not
a guy
couples therapy
that trains you to get her back.
Yes.
This is more of that pick pickup artist at the airport Hilton bullshit.
Yes, but it's dressed
targeted at one specific person, which is way creepier somehow.
It's very funny. What's really great is I went really deep on this because it was just one of those things, like the more you read, the more you're just like, oh God, like so many people are in just deep dark holes. And if they're on relationshiphero.com, but like they have the obvious service, right? Like, hey, Janine broke up with me. Can you help me get her back? Yes, sir. We can help you win her back. But then there's also like ongoing counseling for a single person to improve their relationship and or marriage. And then there's also post-breakup counseling just for the individual on how to deal with your emotions. They have price plans for like 24-hour contact. You can get X number of texts per day. And it's just like, whoa, this feels a lot like Jeremy Renner's star system. That is to say, not on the up and up.
You're supposed to do this all without telling your significant other that you're doing
Correct.
it. Like this, so this is all in secret.
It's all collusion to con you into staying with your significant other.
Delightful.
It's wild, man. Highly recommend it. It's no quicksandvids.com, which is gone, but it is definitely very funny.
But it is, I believe it lives on like Twitter, maybe?
Definitely lives on in my heart. It does live on Twitter. Somebody was nice enough to point me to that one day without warning. Thank you.
And seriously, thank you. Feel free to point him toward that without warning. He loves it.
Erotic. It's not. It's very weird.
Yeah. Verse 2, we get another reference to a stupid AP watch.
Oh, yeah.
And
but, okay, this is great. Know a VIP up at MIT, and he still won't let me fly the time machine. Somebody to turn back hands on my new AP. But, buddy, what I really need... And then he goes on to talk about how he needs someone to abduct a woman. But I wholeheartedly think that Luke Combs believes A, time machines are real, and B, coincidentally met a man on a flight, possibly, who does in fact work at MIT, and not realizing he was being facetious, confirmed the existence of time travel. And so like every few months, Luke Combs calls up this poor bastard. He's like, hey man, can I get in on some of that time machine? And he's like, the 30th time, Mr. Combs. I was joking. There is no time machine.
I like to
Please stop harassing me.
Somebody was sitting one row behind him on a flight while he was discussing his love of time machines with a poor guy that like did not want to hear any of that. And then this guy behind him noticed that he was on his next flight with him and just coincidentally happened to be sitting next to him on that one. He's like, I got a fun idea. Fuck with this
Has
idiot.
like some loose sketches of a flux capacitor fall out of a folder. Like, oh, please, Mr. Sir, you're not supposed to look at that.
Yeah.
Just says like time machine patent on the top in pencil. Now, hey, wait a minute, sir. Where do you work? You got like a name tag that says MIT professor.
It says Professor MIT.
Yeah, but for some reason it's on a Chick-fil-A name tag. That's just all you could get at the airport. I love Chick-fil-A and science.
There's a dead Chick-fil-A employee in a bathroom because he needed something to pull this off. This is too good. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Track number 9, Nosedive, featuring the anonymous Lainey Wilson.
Looking for the devil, chasing the high, couldn't keep forever.
Anonymous, but can really fucking sing.
Oh, she's so good at singing.
Yeah. If I were Post Malone, now I guess I would let her be on here.
Yeah. It only helps. Yeah, this is slightly bluesy pedal steel and guitar. Didn't know who Lainey was, but she's a very good singer. I'm sure she's quite famous. I just have no idea who she was.
Would you like to hear a Snobble fun fact sponsored by Snop Dog number 322 about Lainey Wilson?
Sure, I have a hard time believing there's 321 others, but go ahead.
In high school, Lainey Wilson was a traveling Hannah Montana impersonator, working at birthday parties, fairs, festivals, and once at St. Jude's, mostly just booking these herself. I think she was just showing up pretending to be Hannah Montana.
Was she homeless?
No, maybe.
Booking these herself?
Yeah,
like,
I think it was like a weekend thing. She would like call up. What I think was happening is she was calling up like a state fair and being like, hey, I'm Hannah Montana. Would you like me to come and sing? And people were like, that's fuck yeah. And then she got there and they were like, well, we're not paying you. And she's like, yeah, but you already told everyone Hannah Montana was here. So you're going to have to at least let me perform.
Well, she's got us there. That is weird for a few reasons. Like, I wonder if they thought they were getting Hannah Montana or if they were getting a Hannah Montana impersonator.
I assume they knew.
I'll assume nothing. Let's see. I really don't love this song. song. It's got some funny harmonization. Like the words they decide to go down on is really interesting.
I really hate how he sings nosedive. It sounds like he's trying to imitate the sound change of a plane as it goes into a nosedive in a movie, and it sucks.
I won't even say it sucks. It's distracting for me. Yeah, but that is what they decide to like dip down on. That's very, very strange. When a dog bites. Sorry, that's not what we're doing. I found God looking for the devil, chasing a high I couldn't keep forever. It's always worse before the better. That's not true, I suppose. And how far down? It's hard to tell. When to buy and when to sell. Cause that come down, it hurts like hell. And every thorn has its rose. So she's really helped him to settle down, and he found peace through his sinning?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's saying the only way to find God is to party with him.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what he's saying. I found God looking for the devil, so he's going into those back alleys.
Maybe what he's saying is he found the drug that really works for him, right? He's back there. He's mixing it up with these garbage people. He's scum of the earth they are. He's doing meth. He's doing whatever. And all of a sudden, he accidentally eats a mushroom that he just found on the ground. He's like, holy shit.
I found God. Yeah. He stops doing all those destructive drugs.
Right. And just does mushrooms, which technically, that's a fungus. That's
yeah, it's poisoning.
Yeah.
To your brain. But it works. I mean, if you want to see colors.
Sure does.
Sometimes you're running. Sometimes you're crawling. Sometimes you're broke. Sometimes you're balling. But there's still beauty in the nosedive. Here's what's frustrating to me about this song. Lainey has no connection to this material, and I'm not even sure he does.
No. I mean, maybe that mushrooms thing.
Oh, sure. I hit rock and I dropped the shovel, clawed my way out past the rubble, do my best, stay out of trouble. Heaven knows sometimes the picture it ain't perfect. Now, this is fun. Tim, you and I used to know a few folks that I would often try to predict their rock bottom, and then it always surprised me when I was wrong.
Yeah, there's always lower.
I'm thinking specifically about a gentleman who got that second DUI.
Oh,
well, I was not going to use his name, but yes.
Probably bleep it, but good God. We watched that from a rooftop. We were all...
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Were you there for that?
No, I saw a video of it afterwards.
Yeah, we all got up on this rooftop.
There's a roof of an apartment looking into a parking garage.
No. He was parked on the street. So it was like...
was he?
Yeah, so we were all standing around there.
Hold on. But is that the one where the cop was already behind him?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we were all standing around looking down, and we saw our friend who had just left... Drunk
as could be.
Walk out, get into his truck, and we were all like, oh no. And then he backed into the truck behind him, and like one car behind that was a police officer who immediately flashed the lights and gave him a DWI and took him to jail as we all watched. It was awesome.
I do think that might have been his bottom.
No. I'll tell you about it later, Garrett. It got weird.
I think it was a court-ordered bottom.
It was, yeah.
Rightly so. Track number 10, Losers, featuring Jelly Roll.
Last callers, last chancers, 9-to-5ers, truckers, dancers.
I like the list of people they consider to be losers, right?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Last callers, last chancers, 9-to-5ers, truckers, dancers. 9 to 5. So people with 9-to-5 jobs, truckers, and dancers. It's
all losers.
People that work, again, the shift almost everyone works. People that like keep our infrastructure going, and dancers.
And people that make wieners happy.
Well, I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, presumably that's what he's talking about. But like, again, if he were a better songwriter with a singular vision, like it would be people who can't keep 9-to-5 jobs. It would be lot lizards instead of truckers. It might be a ballet dancer who turned into a stripper, which might be a Chris Knight song. I don't know.
Might be that Julia Stiles movie, Save the Last Dance. It's probably not.
Yeah. And I don't think he can necessarily even claim to be a loser himself because, I mean, he might have been in high school. He probably was not disliked.
By high school standards. Yeah. Probably a big loser.
But he was so immediately successful.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it probably didn't feel that way to him, but he was.
Yeah, listen, I am very unsuccessful, and I am twice the age he was when he was very successful.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's finish that verse because it does get even weirder. 9-to-5ers, truckers, dancers, couple Chucks, Earns, and Chandlers with a whole lot of prayers unanswered. answered. Couple things here. One, I've never met a Chandler in real life.
No.
Two, I figured out why that name is in here. It's written by a dude named Chandler.
Oh.
Yeah, he wrote on a few of these songs. He's a writer. So that explains that. But I mean, it's still very dismissive. Like, his little list there is like 68% of the country, maybe more, maybe 90% of the working world.
See, that's the thing. You gotta really be inclusive here. These are the people that are gonna be buying this album and commiserating with him.
Right. Then his loser list does get, by my standards, a little more losery. Whiskey by Noon and Beer Before That. Southbound Train on a Hellbound Track. Might just put 2 middle fingers up and throw one back. Not sure what that means. Oh, I say 2 independent middle fingers. For all the people who ain't ever felt at home just spinning on a rock and getting stoned. So yes, morning beers to lead up to a noon whiskey is not usually a trait of the most productive.
Yeah, that's true, but occasionally you'll find that guy.
Oh, sure. I mean, what's his face? Guitarist for the Rolling Stones seems to have found a pretty nice balance of drugs and alcohol.
Keith Richards?
Yeah. I mean, not anymore, but for a good 30 years, that guy was pretty much redlining it and doing great.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, you asked the question once, would people trade an arm to be free of addiction? We got several emails. The votes are in. Yes, they would.
How tragic. I wish I hadn't asked that.
You guys are
Yeah,
great.
this one's for the losers, the outcasts and the sinners. The ain't never been no winners. Let's hear it for the losers. Ain't got nowhere to fit in. There's a place you can always get in. You might be lonely, but you're never alone. You're right here where you're supposed to be, right here with all the losers. The ones like you, the ones like me. This is some cult recruitment shit.
Yeah, cult
Hello,
of
friends.
losers.
You're not in the wrong place. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. My therapist is a good bartender, heartbreakers and 2-month benders. Bad times that we can't forget, good times that we won't remember. Raise 'em up when we hear a sad song, love the cry of a steel guitar. No way to change the way we are. My only issue here is that both of them are in fact reformed losers. Like, I would have laughed at both of these dudes in 2011, but in 2024, like, you're not losers. You can't really say, I mean, is he saying like it gets better? Because it doesn't. Most losers, and again, the losers he's listing is like most of America.
And yeah, at least half of them aren't losers, but yeah, you can't, it doesn't get better. If you're expecting it to get better in a Post Malone or Jelly Roll way, it's not gonna.
No. And in fact, if you have like Jelly Roll's particular lifestyle, really don't expect it to get better.
That's right.
That guy's life was tough. He looks like a reformed juggalo.
He does. Both of these guys do.
Yeah, Post looks less reformed.
Honestly, Post Malone, throw a little clown makeup on that guy's face. It might improve the situation because it'll cover up a lot of weird nonsense.
You know, when you do if we ever do another Post Malone and you get a chance to do an interview to prepare, ask him if he's ever considered throwing on some clown makeup.
Yeah. He was
That's a
not
missed opportunity.
responsive. I guess he's on tour though.
Did you get a hold of any of his people?
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to them.
You're such a stickler.
Track number 11, Devil I've Been, featuring Ernest.
To hide them wings under that double RL. Well, she might be.
Let's start with the positive. I think Ernest is a legitimate country artist. I have not heard a ton by him, but what I did hear seemed quite legitimate.
Fair enough. I like the idea that this is a song about a world in which angels and demons are real and they walk amongst us in sort of a screw tape letters kind of way. And a demon is trying to clean up his act so he can bang a pretty angel. Or possibly
It's a real Capulet Montague situation.
Yeah, or possibly there's a pretty lady he doesn't yet realize is a literal angel. I don't know.
Or he's stupid and thinks that he has met a real angel and she's just a nice pretty lady.
Fair enough. She tried to hide them wings under that double RL. Well, she might be an angel. That's what I'm telling myself. And she knows I'm a demon. She heard about all my songs. Saint Hank up on the wall. That man done seen it all.
I just want to say, I didn't know what double RL was, so I looked it up. This is Ralph Lauren's Americana wing of clothing, which is code for like flannel shirts that cost $600 and $3,400 ridiculous looking coats. Like,
I found a $7,800 coat on that. Garrett,
and they all
would
look
you
like
to
what
see
Jim-
my $7,800 coat? Oh, Gino's wearing it. God damn. Bring it out. Don't wear it, you son of... It's okay.
You're gonna get wine on it, you old foolish weirdo.
I'm gonna throw that coat away. God damn it.
Yeah, it's covered in old. Listeners, if you haven't found the feed, picture what Jim Carrey Carey's wearing in Dumb and Dumber after they start spending money. Like, it's clearly expensive, but also you look like an asshole.
Right. It's the point of this album. Rich but stupid.
So much suede fringe.
Not enough suede fringe.
God damn it, you're so predictable. So I hung my horns on the wall soon as she walked in. Been in here getting half gone with all my hellbound friends, so he's getting drunk with his demon buddies. Yeah, I'm about tired of living this life of sin. Girl, I'm one hell of a night. Yeah, but I ain't the devil I've been. I like the idea that he's just looking for an excuse to stop raging. Like his little entourage kind of changes over time, and like people come and people go and they check in, but so the party's temporary for them, but like for him, he has to be the like life of the party, and he's, you know, like it or not, still a touring artist that does like 2-hour plus shows. So he's just like, I just want to go home and like watch Mad Men. And
I like that. Yeah, he's dating somebody that he can, like, he's just like, listen, it's not me, she's boring, that's why I'm going home. But really, he's dating her because he can just blame it on her. I like that.
He can go home, wash off all those fake tattoos.
God damn it, are these real tattoos?
They absolutely are. The tip-off should have been the excruciating pain and time-consuming nature of the process. Also, you've had other tattoos, so compare and contrast.
Well, I've never had a fake tattoo before.
Oh, I ain't the flame I used to be. Yeah, it's funny how a cage can make a man feel so free. Yeah, he just wants to, he's tired of raging and smoking darts and chugging Jack Daniels. He just wants to go home, put on some fleece pants and snuggle.
Yeah.
Man hits a certain age where it's, you know, you see this with the Hells Angels. You know, you and I read a few books back in the day about this, and like dudes would hit a certain age where they're just like, hey, you know what I don't want to do? Constantly do trucker speed and ride around beating people with chains. I'm done with this. And then they eventually either get murdered or they have to go in the witness protection program because they don't exactly have a retirement plan.
Which is bullshit, because they all eventually are gonna feel like that. Just say, hey, there is an age. It's fine.
Yeah, a certain age, you just go to Boca and you don't have to beat people with chains anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
Right.
Track number 12. Never Love You Again, featuring Sierra Farrell.
Feral.
Yeah, it's definitely Farrell.
You cunt. God damn it.
It's like a nice little duet waltz.
Yeah, so it's got a slow waltz feel. I don't like the name checking of Hank Williams' Lost Highway throughout this, because I really love that song.
It's a good song. I don't care personally. I don't like it that much.
Yeah, but I mean, this is yet another song. They broke up. He's sad. That's it.
Yeah, and the song's actually decent.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's the most basic and standard country fare you could possibly think of.
Absolutely. Track 13. Missing You Like This, featuring Luke Combs.
Think about you every now and then when the rain
This one's kind of fun.
Let's see, which one's this? This is more breakup regret, right?
It is. But this one is fun, Garrett.
Oh, right.
Because
right.
This one, so let's get into the lyrics here. I thought I'd think about you every now and then when the rain falls down in Kansas, when I hear dust in the wind. When I told you I was leaving in that Exxon parking lot, I thought the world would keep on turning. No one told me it would stop. This is a song about that classic feeling of regret that can only come when you decide to break up with somebody by driving them out into the middle of nowhere and then dumping them at a truck stop with no way to get home, leaving him or her no alternative other than to be murdered hitchhiking or to raise money by becoming a lot lizard until they can pay their way home. Although, of course, we know once the old Liz gets those hooks in you, you never really leave that lot.
Now, you can take the lot out of the lizard, but you cannot take the lizard out of the lot.
Absolutely.
Or the other way around.
And I'd have called you crazy after we were through if you'd told me it'd take my life to get over you.
All right, pause, because I have some questions and thoughts. 1. Listeners, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Worst location you've been broken up with or broken up with somebody else with? Because Exxon parking lot, not great.
Exxon Valdez, slightly worse.
That's something I wanted to say to you before we go down on the ship. I don't remember exactly where they were from. I'm assuming the guy's foreign.
I think they were Russian, maybe. I don't know.
You know, I think it is time we see other people. Also, I'm going to be going to jail for a long time. I have murdered lots and lots of wildlife.
Yeah.
She was giving me Hummer while I was steering boat.
Hummer is funny.
Anyway, I was getting boat head.
Jesus Christ, man. I knew for a night, girl, I'd be drinking about you, but it's years gone by and I'm still dreaming about you. Cross my heart till I die. I swear to God, I would have never done what I did if I knew that I'd be missing you like this. And again, it's all about him. It's because I'm sad I wouldn't have done that. Not because you're now some sort of truck stop prostitute. That's not on me.
Well, is it a telltale heart situation? Maybe read in the paper 2 days later. Body found on Access Road next to I-35.
Oh, sure. And always remember them how they were, not all burned from meth.
No, I meant she was murdered hitchhiking, not the lot lizard route.
Oh, fair enough.
Jesus. I mean, they end the same way.
Yeah.
Crumpled heap on the side of the highway. Still, we need to keep that infrastructure alive, and it is fueled by anonymous speed-fueled intercourse.
Right? And there is some real regret there, though, because, listen, he could go back and find her. She might still, I mean, she's definitely still in the same lot. They do not go
man,
anywhere.
what if he pretty womaned her? That'd be kind of fun. That's romantic.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The person you go back to is never the person you've left. Like, they've been in that lot for 11 years, Garrett.
Yeah. Oh my, that's a lot less Roy Orbison and a lot more deliberance.
She might be running that lot, Garrett.
Running the lot. What's the lot leader called? Head lizard? The lizard queen?
The dinosaur, Garrett.
The Komodo.
Oh, I love that.
Or just the dragon.
Yeah, there it is, the dragon.
You want to do something like that.
The dragon is perfect.
I've never even spoken to the dragon. This is not a great album.
It's not.
I had an entirely different theory here, although yours has swept my and the nation's heart. I assumed that this was some sort of curse. He didn't realize when he dumped her in that lot that she was some sort of gypsy or witch, maybe like a Rose the Hat sort of situation from Dr.
Like that,
Sleep.
yeah.
And so she's just like, regret. And so for the rest of his life, he's just consumed with regret because he's got some crazy fucked up lyrics in here. Like, it goes way too far. He says, okay, first, he says, wake up in the morning in a bed with someone new. Okay, that's great. She don't know I still got pictures in that box instead of boots. That's a little weird, but I'm sure that happens. You're the reason I'm still lonely, even when the next best thing is lying right here. Do not call your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or husband the next best thing.
Oh no, it makes them very angry.
That is crazy. That's one thing that's nuts, but where's the other one where he talks about, maybe I didn't write it down, but he talks about basically having to drink. Oh yeah, you're the whiskey in my coffee, the unanswered in my prayers. He's drinking in the morning because he can't stop thinking about her.
Yeah, but I also think it's sort of a compliment to her, right? You're the whiskey in my coffee, right? You're the thing. Coffee is his life. She's the whiskey. She is the thing that makes life worth living. Same thing that makes the coffee worth drinking.
I agree, but I think it's a curse.
Oh, sure. It's all a curse.
Your
Garrett.
theory makes more sense, though. Like, he's drinking in the morning because he knows he, not directly, but damn near directly ruined that woman's life.
I would argue very directly. What are you talking about? He abandoned her
Listen,
there.
he left her in the lot, Tim. What she does after that is her decision. If she ascends to, what did we say?
The dragon?
The dragon. If she ascends to dragonhood, that's on her. If she ends up in a crumpled heap next to the freeway, that's also on her. Don't get in that car. Never go to a second location.
Let me run this by you. What if 6 years after he does this, he opens his glove box for the first time in 6 years and her purse is in there?
Ooh, okay. And immediately he's wondering, has it always been there or was it put there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it was always been there. I'm assuming he meant to leave her with that so she could eventually get home or whatever.
So he thought he left her with her keys, phone, and wallet, and instead left her in whatever dinner attire she was in. And oh yeah, she's going to get eaten up by that lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
At best, she's going to be a Lizzie. She might be an assistant Lizzie.
Oh God, don't even tell him what that is, Garrett. Jesus Christ.
Whatever you're thinking of, listeners, it's worse.
It absolutely is.
Also, you're not going to think this makes sense, but just think about it for a minute. Whatever you're picturing, double it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
just think about it.
She's got to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't say it. We'll get kicked right off the internet.
The refrain, I'd have called you crazy after we were through if you'd have said they'd have to lay me 6 feet under just to get over you. I know he probably means he won't ever get over her, like his whole life.
That's not how I read it.
It kind of sounds like he's going to kill himself to get over her, right?
Absolutely. He was driven insane. Remember me.
I like the combination of our two things. He abandoned her to become a lot lizard, and then she's telltale hearting him.
Well, what if, I mean, listen, the life of a lot lizard is wild, and you're going to interact with some very interesting people. She may have purchased an amulet or a amateur cursing kit. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so she could have been left in that lot, at first couple of years, horrible, really tough stuff. Slowly, she learns the ropes, becomes the dragon, ascends to dragonhood, and in that time, she's going to get all sorts of trinkets and baubles, nothing conventionally valuable, but weird lizardy shit. And one of those things might enable her to cast a curse. I love this.
Yeah.
We did it. MGM, write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Do you want to write this script? We'll do it. Stephen King, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Also, for you want to make a sequel to Dr. Sleep? We can make this work.
A prequel to Rose the Hat.
I think that would be called The Shining.
Oh. Well, no, it's in between those two.
The book nobody asked for. When Stephen King announced he was making a sequel to The Shining, everybody was shocked and appalled. Then he somehow made an excellent book. Returning to the well again, he will answer the question, what happened between those books? God damn it. That's basically the Disney approach to Star Wars. How many times can we divide this timeline to tell the story between the story?
Yeah.
Because our original stories nobody wants to hear.
Yeah.
God damn it. Track 14, I guess? California Sober.
Featuring Chris Stapleton.
I gotta ask, why is Jelly Roll not on this song? The man is literally and quite vocally California sober.
I hate the weird off-tempo misaligned duetting in the first verse on this.
It really is jarring.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well together.
It's almost like an uncanny valley thing where it's close enough, but just slightly off that it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Narratively, one of the better songs.
Yeah, I guess. It's all right.
I mean, it's got a narrative that isn't I miss my baby.
No, it's about a lady on a rampage across the country.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of Stapleton's voice. I think it's overpowering. I do like the use of the organ throughout. Kind of gives it the feel of like a band song, the band.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into it. California sober on the highway 1. Over on the shoulder, thought I saw some fun. Looking for a ride, trouble in some daisies, holding out her thumb, stole some sucker's money. Now she's on the run, and she wanna get high. Saw a hot lady on the side of the road, thinking predatorially. He picked her up, and she wants to get stoned.
Yeah.
She said, I'll take you on a little trip. Come on, give these lips a try. And pause. So what now? I'm assuming she gets in the car, gives them a bit of a kiss, and they get all horned up and distracted.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
I mean, that or she exposed her genitals and was quite crass. I mean, it is usually ass, gas, or grass, so perhaps it was the ass choice. That's not what I got out of it, though, just to be clear.
Fair enough.
She drank up all my whiskey, blew down all my smoke. I became the punchline of some cosmic joke. She whispered, pull it over. I said, you're the boss. In a southern drawl said, here's where I get off. So she took all their drugs and their whiskey, which I guess they're not so California sober. I guess he was just saying they were driving around high.
I think
Good
California
job.
sober, yeah, just means smoking pot.
Yeah, but she drank up all my whiskey. Why has he got a bunch of whiskey?
That's true. Yeah.
Song makes no sense. Needed me some diesel just to get back home. Tried to pay the man and found my money gone. Had to bum a ride. So she stole his wallet.
Yeah, and then she kind of enters into legend, right? If you see those daisies walking around, son, you'd best just pass them by. And if you see a wallet on the ground, bet your ass that shit is mine, right? So she's become this nightmare walking across the country, just doing everybody's drugs and then just leaving.
It's a pretty lame cryptid.
Yeah. Track number 15, Hide My Gun, featuring Hardy.
Hypothetically, would you hide my gun? Would you tell no one? Would you pass?
Is this a country song? Trick question. No, it is not.
This song makes me think of that Simpsons bit where Homer keeps Patty and Selma from getting fired at the DMV and then says, I didn't do it for them. I did it for you, Marge. I'd kill for you. Please ask me to kill for you.
Ask me to kill for you. No.
Right, because it's the concept, it's couched as sort of a metaphor here, but
It starts hypothetically and becomes very specific.
right, he is itching to do a murder.
It also comes out of nowhere. nowhere. Take us through it.
$38 for a coconut rum. You never looked prettier sipping on one. Those downtown lights are turning back off because the world is turning back on. On the same damn road we drove 1,000 times, I swear I saw a message in them yellow and white lines. And I ain't saying I'm a killer or if I'll ever be, but hypothetically, would you hide my gun? He makes the case that highway hypnosis kind of Manchurian candidates or Jason Bourne's him a little bit.
That's the part that stood out to me maybe the most is I suspect what he's trying to say is that it was on his mind and he was, but maybe not. Like, it strikes me as a guy who really wanted to talk about his desire to murder and was just like driving, staring into the like middle distance and was like, oh, hey, you know what that reminds me of? And like before the other person could even be like, what reminds you of what? He's like, I was just curious. If I did the murders, what would you say?
Yeah, where do you land on that? And here's the thing. If somebody asks if you will cover up a murder for them, always say yes. You can choose later whether or not to do it or just to, immediately turn them in. Say yes up front.
Right, because they were going to murder people, which means they might murder you. You could be one of those murdered people.
Absolutely.
Be agreeable.
Yes.
Would you hide my gun? Would you tell no one? Would you pack a never coming back again bag? If the 3x4 is banging on our door, would you stall and let me slip out the back? Don't hide people's guns, right?
No.
Because, like, I'll even say, listen, will we purge ourselves for one another? You betcha. But if you show up with a physical weapon, I'm not hiding that for you.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's totally different. That's like the equivalent of asking someone to help you move. Like, you hit a certain age where you don't ask somebody to hide a gun for you. Like, that's your own problem.
Yeah, I think, it's a very childish thing to expect somebody to solve your problems on the back end.
Absolutely.
Make a plan for what you're going to do with your gun. Up front, you know what? Make several different plans that you can go a bunch of different ways depending on which way you're running.
Yeah, that's we call that the Jason Bourne approach.
Yeah, the books, not the movie.
No. The books have so many holes being dug and filled with guns just in case. and then they're never used.
Sometimes they're not.
It's a wonder I still enjoyed it. It's just like, God, man, there's this whole chapter about him setting all this shit up that never pays off. It's great. Song continues. If you had to dig a hole, would you take it to the grave? Put some concrete shoes at the bottom of the lake. If I shot him dead, would you shoot me straight? Yeah, shoot me straight.
Okay, it's getting worse. He's gone. Now we're not hiding a gun. We're at best hiding bodies. At worst, we're killing people with concrete boots mob style.
Yeah, we went from hiding a gun to me participating in the murder.
Yeah.
Which is like so many steps.
And this is the slow creep. This is why you just immediately be like, yeah, I'll help you. Yes, whatever you want. Yes, I will. I'm going to turn that tracker on my phone now.
I hate to say it, but it is a slippery slope.
Yep.
Again, like leave it at perjury, folks. No one can prove your thoughts.
Not
or
yet.
In this case, disprove them.
That's right.
In India, they tried though. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, they used this.
They did the fMRI thing to see if people were lying? Yeah.
Yes. Like, do you have a recollection of this scene or this activity? Which is wildly flawed in my opinion, but nobody asked me. Anyway, back to this dumb shit. A big wheel gun in my right hand, tiny diamonds in my left. Are you down to go the distance? Lord, in sickness and in health, ain't nothing gonna part us, not even death. And my God, slippery slope be damned. We've gone from hiding a gun to a murder-suicide.
Absolutely.
God damn you. And that's why you say yes and then you go to a safe place.
Right.
God damn. That's terrifying. Track 16, Right About You.
My money singing so sad and only songs.
This song is a huge bore that definitely should have been left for the long bed edition.
Yes, however, musically, one of my favorites.
Absolutely. Nothing in the lyrics, though.
Oh, right. This is the one where he's basically saying, hey, I'm used to like total chaos and nightmare people. So if you want to like slam some doors or start an argument real quick so I could write some songs and we not go broke, that'd be awesome. Like just come in here and be like really mad at me about something. And like the more I ask you what I've done wrong, the angrier I want you to get. And then
Here's the thing, I'm going to have to
now.
now get drunk so I forget I said that because it has to feel authentic.
Yeah, but don't worry. It will be applauded and listened to millions of times, but it's the only way we're going to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the gist here. He says, would you still love me if we were down bad and out of home? I made all my money singing so sad and lonely songs, but all my diamonds came from dirt. The more I love you, the less I hurt. And now my pen can't find the words. See, that's the gist, gang.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the much more ridiculous. Track 17, MEXICO, featuring Billy Strings.
MEXICO for me, laid up in the shade.
Garrett, Mexico and having to flee there, I looked this up. Or like waking up drunk there, or just somehow ending up there after a rough life. Let me throw some names at you. Johnny Cash, George Strait, Merle Haggard, Townes Van Zandt, Robert Earl Keen, Tim McGraw, Waylon Jennings, Kenny Chesney, Toby Keith, Pat Green, Roger Krieger, Corey Morrow, Charlie Robeson, Bruce Robeson, Marty Robbins, Eli Young, Jack Ingram, Carrie Underwood, Alan Jackson, Steve Earle, James Buffet, Guy Clark, Bob Weir, John Prime, Jack Ingram, Willie Nelson, Dwight Yoakam. They've all written this song.
John Prine. Now that is a hell of a musician.
Absolutely. Man's fantastic. Get that first self-titled album, listener.
God, I came so late to the party with that dude.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, this song's ridiculous. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, him and Graham Parsons. Get into those guys.
Yeah.
Garrett, this is a fast-paced song with some kind of fun beat, I guess.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's weird strings. It's really good. It's odd that Billy Strings doesn't play on this song because his whole thing is he is very good at playing guitar.
Yeah, but, why do we need that? That's not what this album's going for. We're not looking to separate ourselves from the pack here, Garrett.
I mean, this has excellent guitar playing in it. Like, there's a solo in here that's very, very good, but I just don't understand it. Anyway, let's get into it. I was hanging around in Brooklyn town with a settle-down type girl. Her daddy was a diplomat who thought he ruled the world. And he was well-connected. He helped me connect the dots. He paid me off to leave, and let's just say he paid a lot.
It's weird phrasing because he was well-connected, he helped me connect the dots. It makes it sound like the dad liked him and was helping his career or helping him get into med school or get rid of face tattoos.
No, I think it was more like, hey, let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
You take this money or I'm going to fucking, you're going to end up a lot lizard in New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's connecting the dots that this isn't going to be a long-term relationship. He better get out of town. The money's the best offer coming. But I don't know.
Well, I guess it's MEXICO for me, laid up in the shade of a coconut tree.
With the D, the E, the F, the I, the A, the N, the C, the E, mind of a revolutionary. Fuck you, spelling. And also fuck you, Rage Against the Machine. Why do you think the diplomat didn't just shoot him and shout diplomatic immunity? Diplomatic immunity!
There is a chance, outside chance, and I haven't looked this up, so I don't know. There's a chance that Lethal Weapon 2 wasn't entirely accurate.
Oh.
There's a chance. I don't know. Don't quote me. Here's the thing that blew my mind. Like 4 years ago, somebody pointed out the fact that dude, diplomatic immunity guy, is the same as Hans from Mighty Ducks.
Is he?
Yeah. That was my reaction.
We're going to have to watch both those movies after we watch 1998's Godzilla tonight. It's going to
be a long night.
One,
yeah, a lot of hard work. Anyway, laid up in the shade of a coconut tree, and love said, go to hell, but there's somewhere I'd rather be, so it's MEXICO for me. Yeah, so he's headed to a spelled out Mexico to live in luxury on the monies he was paid to leave the woman whom he loved.
Yeah.
I made it south of El Paso, met a businesswoman there. I knew that she was rich, but how I didn't care.
It's weird, that phrasing, because all of a sudden it gets all highfalutin.
Yeah, it's very fun. When the cops kicked in the door, they found a suitcase full of cocaine. She took off with the federale, and I took all the blame. So she got set up by a drug smuggler and goes to jail forever.
He does.
Yeah, he does. She takes off. It was all a setup.
Yeah.
But he does change the course at the end to reflect the situation that's just occurred. He says, I guess it's MEXICO for me. From this jail cell, I can't see one coconut tree. And love said, go to hell, and now I can't ever leave. So it's MEXICO for me.
You're spelling Mexaco. You're saying MEXOCO.
You're welcome. Yeah, it definitely is MEXICO. Sorry. It's even in front of me and I can't do it.
Yeah.
Track 18. Oh, right. Oh my God. Track 18, yours.
Be wearing white, but her first dress, it was pink.
This song fucking sucks. This song is bad enough to hate an entire album for just for this.
Yeah, this is my only big who cares.
Disagree, but I do care about this song, Garrett, because this song, it's creepy, it's off-putting. There's a couple of kind of fun things about it, but we'll get into the content of this song in a minute. But this is presumably the most personal song on the album. Care to guess how many writers are on this thing?
I mean, no less than 4 would be crazy.
You are correct, there are 5.
Yeah, 5 seems appropriate.
It is this weird and kind of gross rumination on his 2-year-old daughter getting married for some reason.
I don't have children, so I don't know how weird this is. It seems weird to me.
Nobody needs to hear this.
That's true.
Like, you write this song and you perform it at her wedding about how you felt 20 years ago, that's fine.
That husband's going to be uncomfortable.
Well, yeah.
You just never break eye contact with him while you sing these words.
Right. I don't know who you are, but one day I'm going to, and it's going to break my heart when she gives hers to you. And it won't be tomorrow, but it's going to be soon when I walk her down that aisle and do what daddies have to do.
Why do I honestly, just the phrase "and do what daddies have to do" is completely ignore the rest of the album. Just the phrase "and do what daddies have to do" is just the worst sentence I've heard in all of 2024.
That's true. Absolutely. And I've said some horrible ones. Garrett, here's the thing though. I love the idea of a music video for this song, right? He's in his stupid tuxedo. He's walking his daughter down the aisle. He's got all his dumb face tattoos. No. She's an adult now, and she's glowing in her wedding dress. She gets to the altar, pulls the veil back to reveal 32 face tattoos, and smiles at the groom with fucking diamond canines.
Yikes.
So this is his song to her, right? This is the gift to her on her wedding day. Her gift to her father is she got those tattoos to honor her dad. The groom's never seen him before, and they're really fresh, so she's got this red, really swollen tender face. Yeah.
She's already probably going to have a pretty round face based on daddy.
Oh.
Just guessing. He's got a pretty round face.
He does.
Anyway, song continues, and she might be wearing white, but her first dress, it was pink. She might be your better half, yeah, but she's my everything. We'll both love her forever, but I loved her long before. And one day I know I'll give her away, buddy. That don't mean she's yours.
You're reading it in a lascivious manner, and I just want to say that is correct. That is the correct way to read this.
I was going to say, I am merely reflecting the text.
Absolutely. You're right to. She's not yours,
just
buddy.
Weird.
She's mine. I fucking own her. That's why you had to ask permission from me. She is my property. If I am satisfied with a number of goats you're offering, I will allow her to become your property.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
I saw her walking first. Okay.
Of course you did. You taught her to.
It comes off creepy, and I believe this song should be destroyed. I don't know how.
Well said. Yeah, I don't care how, honestly. Tim, how'd this album do?
It did quite well. I don't have official numbers on the sales. It's definitely a moving target because it's quite new, but it is selling like goddamn hotcakes, as Garrett P. Harvey likes to say. It is currently nominated for Best Country Album at the 2025 Grammys. This was a #1 album in Canada, New Zealand, Norwegia, the UK, and the US, and Garrett, it was a #1 album in the Dutch. The Dutch love this album. I suspect they thought it was going to be some sort of trap album, and it was too late once they bought it.
Interesting. I'm so confused by that. What did people think of it?
Well, there's 473 total ratings on Amazon, 4.7 out of 5 stars on average, 87% 5-star, 5% 1-star. These aren't the best, but they're very new, so I don't really know what to do with that. Jay Grew, in September of 2024, said, "I'm a 50-year-old male and I've been listening to Post since 2016. He has gotten me through some of the roughest times and I don't know where I'd be without his music. Every song on this album, just like all the others, will make you want to get up and dance. You can never go wrong with Posty. Get it? 5 out of 5 stars." So I like this review because this is a 50-year-old man. So he's been getting through the tough times in his life by listening to Post Malone since he was 42. Garrett, you're well past 42. Do you need...
That's untrue.
At this point in your life, do you need like a specific album, a specific artist to like get through tough times?
You know that Eve 6 album we listened to?
Right, but you were a child, Garrett.
Yeah, but I still use it
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
for my tough times. Oh, wait a second. No, I don't. I'm an adult man. No, that's insane. Also, I am not well past 42. I don't appreciate that characterization. We're not going to argue about it because I can see you inhaling. Just don't. Just don't.
Garrett, Americana Mama from September 22nd, 2024. I'm a 64 years old mother-grandmother. Never in 1 million years that I would buy a Post Malone CD. This has become one of my favorite CDs. 5 out of 5 stars. I like that she kind of ended it with a now I am become death.
I'll tell you what I like about it. Mama, grandmama. Guess what? If you are one, we assume you're the other.
Yeah.
Maybe not rightly so, because there's a lot of adopted grandmothers out there. Absolutely. But we're all going to assume if you're a grandmother, there was probably a child involved.
L'Oreella B, September 11th, 2024. This is how she celebrated. Country with a bunch of guest singers. Not what I expected. 1 out of 5 stars.
You know what? I'm going to say that's on her.
Absolutely. Kathleen Niederschmidt from August 24th, 2024. You can't even hear Post Malone. It's so country. Totally not him. 1 out of 5 stars.
Again, I gotta argue that was by design and you should have expected as much.
Yeah.
Or thanked them afterwards. Could you imagine if he sounded like my AP going psycho?
That would be, see, again, that would be really funny. I would like this album more if he just did his normal vocal thing off time while country music played in the background.
Or while he's doing duets with all these people and they're still, hey, and he's just like, what did the God, that would be great. I mean, terrible, but way more entertaining.
Fair enough.
Any other reviews?
Nope.
Who's this for?
This is for anyone that is a casual fan of country music getting their country music exclusively from FM radio. You will like this album.
Yeah, that's fair. And anyone who's a Post Malone fan, apparently.
Well, there's a couple people.
80%.
Yeah. I mean, no, Kathleen Niederschmidt and L'Oreella B, who sounds like she would like country music, don't.
She's no Americana mama.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right, well, that brings us to final thoughts. Anything you want to share?
I mean, again, it's too boring and conventional. If he kept the music exactly like it was, but changed all the lyrics to crazy bullshit that's not common country tropes, it could have been fun, but it's just heartbreak and trucks and drinking and sentimentality in Mexico and maybe Jesus, and I just don't want this.
Fair enough. Well put. Tim, do you hate it?
I do, Garrett. Oh God, I just think about listening to more of this. Think about the deluxe edition, Garrett. Does the idea of more of these songs fill you with dread? If so, I suspect you hate it. Garrett, do you hate this album?
I don't think I do.
Oh, come on.
I think I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's fine. It's boring but fine, which escalates it just above hate.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it's just kind of whatever. I am impressed at his ability to reform himself into this genre.
I am impressed by the city of Nashville's ability to reform him into this genre.
Point taken. Okie dokie, Tim, that's going to do it for this week. You hate it, I don't quite care enough to. As always, folks, reach out to us. hatePodMail@gmail.com is how you reach out to us on the emails. You can find us on Instagram. That's HatePod. Twitter's album HatePod. There's also me. I'm G Harvey Tweets on Twitter if you want to get a hold of me. We have Discord servers and subreddits. HatePod.com is the website. It's going to take you to every episode we've ever done in all the formats you could want, including your ability to download it and own it. You can walk around, keep it in your little pocket, access it anytime, just look at it, think about us, or whatever it is you want to do. I don't care. Okie dokie, we did the socials. We want to hear from you folks. If you got ideas, thoughts, hopes, dreams, considerations, episode ideas, things you'd like us to do on this show, things you'd like us to not do on this show, let us know about them for God's sake. And I really want to update the theme song. So if you're an aspiring songwriter and you think you could take a crack at it and want to get paid to do so, reach out. hatepodmail@gmail.com. We'll pay you to do this if you want to do it, but it's got to be good. None of this bullshit. We get some bullshit once in a while, and it's like, well, why did you play it? You know why.
We
it's
also
bullshit.
Get some great stuff every now and then for free, and we like that too. We will accept your thing for free. If you don't want to be paid, Garrett won't pay you.
Oh, absolutely. I love not paying people. Second favorite thing to do. Okay, that's going to do it for me. For yet another episode, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson. And on August 21st, 2016, Garrett P. Harvey said, I won't be held down by the tyranny of tiny rectangles of paper anymore.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't tell you why, but I definitely said that.
This is why you can't read anymore.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, no, I don't understand.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Gary.